Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. Today I decided to take on a challenge. I wanted to build an entire structure using only dirt and cobble blocks and their variants. The blocks you see on the screen right now are the ones that I decided to limit myself to. However, I didn't end up using any podzol, just stuck to coarse dirt, grass, and all of the cobblestone type blocks. Let's get started. So for my structure, I wanted to have 2 towers on each side of my main entrance. So I mark these out and then build them up with World Edit. I'm using cobble as my sort of decorative block, and then dirt will be my main structural block. Detailing out a main entrance here with a little roof going over it, working lots of details in and adding in some windows. Then on the top I'm going to be going with some larger pillars and larger windows to really give it that mansion feel. After some details on the front, I'm going to move over to the tower and try to decide what I want over there. I decide that thicker pillars would be better and start getting some basic detailing in. After I start building for a while, I really get into the groove of things and realize the type of detail that I want, so I go back down to the front of my mansion and change a couple things. Once that's done, I move over to my towers and add 2 windows to those to detail them out, and then a nice circular roof out of grass. This looks so silly, but it actually works out fairly well, and I don't hate the look of it. Now that those roofs are done, we need to think about our main middle roof here. I decided to go for kind of a triangle shape, but just a little smaller and a little sloping. Then, after flipping it over and adding a small detail in the center, this main center structure is done, and we can move over to the side. On the side, the first thing we're going to do is mark out where I want my main pillars to be, in terms of their distance from each other. And then, after looking back at my main structure, I realized that there's a lot of cobble and not enough dirt, so I make my main pillars into that coarse dirt. This ends up being a theme that I carry throughout the build, with my main pillars being coarse dirt, my walls being dirt, and then my details being cobble. I think this works out well for this build. Now for this main wall, it's going to be fairly simple. I'm just creating a lot of series of different windows, making sure to make the first one very detailed, and then just copying it over into the other sections. This makes making this structure very easy and quick, but allows us to get a lot of complex details in there that all flow together. I tried to add as many details as I could within the block restrictions, and it was actually quite a challenge, but it was very fun to work with these limited blocks and limited resources. Of course, I only had 1 block that had the stair and slab variants, which made it a challenge, but a fun one. Now that that wall is in, we're going to move it back a little bit so that we can start thinking about our roof shape. For the roof, I go with a very slowly sloping roof and some simple details on it. Now that we've got that flipped across, we can work on closing off this structure. So on this side, I decided to do another smaller entrance with a big, epic circle window to add some nice detail to this side. Around the sides of my circle window, I just go with some simple pillar detail, not to overwhelm the eye or take away from the main structure, or that beautiful circle window. Once that's done, I decide that 1 more tier to our mansion would look great. So I add some more of those coarse dirt pillars, and then add a smaller circle window to that, and then detail it out and add a roof. I really like the way that this looks in between our 4 other circle towers. Definitely adds just the right amount of detail to this structure. And that's it, it's finished! We're gonna make the rest of our roofs grass, and then it's completely done. This was such a fun little challenge. Shout out to LegoShir for suggesting that I do a build with dirt. It was so fun to work with a restricted block palette. I definitely want to do this again. Thank you guys so much for watching to the end of the video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye!